It gives my brother understand and happy to hear that launch protect you next time and listen yeah. Thank you. Let's join this song, yeah. This is TQ Cara Jam. We're trying to join our song, yeah, for the second time. Okay. I hope very successful song. Okay, proceed. Is it time to bring back love again? I will be there. I will be there. Only love can prevent your love someday. He will be there. I will be there. Day by five, in my life, I will be there. I will be there. Only love can break down the walls of hate. I will be there. I will be there. Even when I go again, of the star, I will try to change our love. So strong that I can't it's not really stop. That's all that. Try, baby, try. Just see my love again. I will, I will be there. I will love that you don't be good. I will be there. There we go again. From the start, trying to change the things that in our love. Your bias still was the strong that can get through. It's the real change. So was the Adalah, Lily on the other side. Yeah, coming song called song and old song, yeah. Okay, see, I saw Thank you. Selama gap year ini, aku banyak menggunakan Grammarly untuk menulis personal statement yang nanti akan aku gunakan untuk mendaftar kuliah. Grammarly juga cocok bagi teman-teman yang banyak dapat tugas bahasa Inggris atau pengen ke opportunities pemuda seperti lomba, mentorship, dan sebagainya yang butuh banyak dokumennya ditulis dengan bahasa Inggris. Versi praktis Grammarly dapat memberikan kita perbaikan ejaan atau tata bahasa. Kita juga bisa menentukan tujuan penulisan, entah untuk sekolah, bisnis, atau apapun itu. Untuk mendapatkan fitur advance agar kita bisa proofread essay dengan lebih cepat, kita bisa upgrade account ke Grammarly Premium. Selain itu, kita juga bisa mengecek informasi yang dapat membantu kita memastikan bahwa apa yang kita kerjakan itu sudah sesuai instruksi. Supaya tulisan kita terasa lebih berwarna, Grammarly juga punya alat yang bisa membantu kita menggantikan kata-kata dengan sinonimnya langsung dengan beberapa klik saja. So, wish you hello, Yana. This is your Tara. Sing song again for the second time. Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations because you're one of the group. And okay, Tara. Proceed. And then she asked me, and I said, now. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and very good morning to all students BPMG 3053 Group A. Yeah?
Good morning, Doctor.
Morning, yeah. Good.
Salam.
Okay, next chapter we are going to discuss more on road transport forecasting. Yeah. Road transport forecasting. Uh, in the book, we don't have any write up on this, but in future, yes. Yeah. The purpose of this chapter is to highlight on the importance of forecasting, yeah, in transport industry, yeah, and we relate to the subject with our day-to-day activities in road transport industries, yeah, to do the forecasting job, lah, yeah, yeah, forecasting, and then I'm sure that this one is very important because the forecasting can save you, yeah, can save you in term of dollar and cents, yeah, money. And then you can save the rest maybe on manpower planning, yeah, manpower, and then the times, yeah, you can save time, yeah. In transport industry, when you can save time, yeah, maximize movement, that means you are actually good, yeah. At the same time, you can maximize your profit, yeah, at the end, yeah. That one is the purpose of transport business related to forecasting. And if we ignorant on forecasting in future, you can perform your job, yeah, good. But at the end, you can get less in terms of profit, or some maybe you're running at loss. Yeah, please listen carefully. Wow, we are going to forecast that thing to make sure that everybody in the organization are actually happy with you, and then you have done a good job, and you are actually more detailed, yeah, doing the more focus, yeah, and then at the same time, everybody are going to be very happy with you, lah, yeah. Okay. Okay, we have altogether 5 objectives here to study here. And then number one is to process estimating the number of vehicle bracket capacities for travelers. Yeah. Kalau travelers, we relate to bus industries, limousine. Yeah. Kalau air transport, travelers lah. Yeah. From place to another. Maybe they are going to for their own purpose, business, leisure, meeting, work, job, related to that. Yeah. Travelers and goods, goods in bracket freights, freights, and will be used specific transportation facilities in future. For example, next 2 years we're going to have at least this. We have a market, and then you are actually very good in marketing strategies. At the same time, you have in hand, market. So you want to expand the market in future, because through the survey that we're going to have a very big in terms of number of markets, customer in future. So you do the forecasting, and then the forecasting involve time, money, and also capacity. Thing, and then of course your energy lah. You use your brain to think about it and to make sure that you plan with a proper manner. Yeah. Number one, able to use several key purpose in transportation, policy, planning, and engineering. Policies involve government policies, involve internal organizational policies, yeah, and then planning involve structure, organization, and you yourself as a planner. That's why in transport industries, when you work, appointed as the transport executive, for example, actually you are actually involved planning. You cannot say that we got instruction from top to bottom. No, you have to convey yourself. Make sure you have to produce something. Yeah, do your own planning better. So you suggest to the company for the betterments of the company as a whole. Yeah, we cannot say just top and down. No, sometimes we have to think about what actually we have idea, the thing, and then propose to the your CEO, your managers to make the orang kata business more orang kata goods, yeah. Right? And number three, they kata engineering. Engineering is process of thing lah. You engineer the thing. That one involve on technical. You involve on the process, re-engineering process. And then you involve your knowledge lah, yeah. Knowledge, we can be adapted, can be adapted in the business scenario at one particular time. This is very important, yeah. So transportation involve policy, planning, and engineering. Yeah. So kalau orang tanya apa itu policy, you know lah how to answer, planning, how to do it, and then engineering, yeah, process, yeah. And then planning in forecasting juga involve, yeah. They got similarity, but planning in term of short term, yeah. And then kalau forecasting ni the bigger thing in future, next 3 years, next 5 years, 10 years, and so on. So we can say also planning, but more people are actually more on forecast. Forecast involve many things. Yang pertama sekali dia involve tentang economic. Yang kedua involve tentang manpower. Yang ketiga involve tentang capacity. These three things lah normally they are actually working in transport organization. Yeah. Okay, number three, dia kata able to use the business process in transportation, BPT. So you go in industry, we call it BPT, business process, because day to day, because you are not involved your personal, because you are actually involved in the business in transportation. So it's therefore, if you can maximize the revenue, of course, at the end of the day, you can get term of profit. Yeah. Kalau you revenue tak nak buat, and then profit tak ada, you are actually running at loss. These processes in business are actually dealing with dollar and cent. Yeah. We're dealing with customer, doing transaction, sending them rate, doing a movement, assignment, maximize movement, and so on. These are actually the processes that we have normally when we work in transport organization. Don't miss out this one opportunity. For those who are actually working in transport organization one day, there are actually opportunity for you because you are actually dealing with theory school, yeah, and then you practicing, and then you improving, and then you can see the yield ataupun in bracket orang kata uh, revenue lah yield lah. Then you capitalize that thing or capitalize that thing to make sure that they can generate more money, and you can see lah, the difference. When you chip in, you can see the difference whether you are actually productive or not. These are actually the processes you have to know, processes in business in transportation. Jadi kalau orang kata transportation is what? Transportation is business. Business. Kecuali kalau kita tak kerja di transportation sale. For example, you are working in, tak bekerja in transportation businesses, ataupun you may be working with the government and so on, that one is not business. But they are actually doing related to the business. They are the cost juga, minimize cost, save cost. Even though they got direct or budget from the government, but they have from time to time had to, orang kata, reduce the budget as given as better as you can. Number four, understand the system, term, shipping, and term in business. I wrote something in my book, final chapter there. You can see the system, the orang kata, the term that normally used in transportation. So don't be handicapped on this thing because when you go to industry, people are talking about terms. So you bear in mind, and then you have to understand each one. They got hundred of them that you're going to use in daily basis in transportation. So you have to understand it, and then how to use it, how to communicate it. It's very important. Jadi kalau orang tak belajar term in transportation, you can work in transportation, but then, oh no, this one is not transport literate lah. Transport student. This one maybe from economy, from other business, marketing, tapi bukan transport literate lah. Transport studies. So page, can see here in the book, last page, I wrote there. I wrote there. Term use in transport, term, page 309 until page 343, the last page one. And then from time to time, when you work in the office, you can see this one, what is FOB, what is the transshipment, what is the container shipper, scatter scaler, bill of lading, cargo weight, capacity, all those things. That means the explanation is not that length, but when you go to the ground, you can see, oh, bill of lading macam mana. Okay. And then dia punya form macam mana. And then dia punya calculation, siapa yang produce all those things and so on and so forth. Okay. Maybe we can use all these things. Maybe some of it can be used. We got 100 there. But you have to remember lah, whatever term that used in transportation supaya kita tak confuse. And then the system normally they got process lah. The process that also involve forecasting. Macam mana kalau kita nak move for transportation, and then for export and import activities, they got the system use, the process. Example, fill up form, and then assign drivers, go to the seaport, collect this thing, and then
get the bill of lading and come back, send to the customer punya address, and then acknowledge them. All those things, they are actually the processes that normally we have. And then the process is not very difficult because the initial part may be quite difficult, but when they go along, the driver can do well. I remember the process is easy. And then the final one, able to quote pricing, billing, in the process transaction and profit maximization. Maknanya, as I forced you last time to do the calculation, everything, this one is the purpose lah. They will involve also forecasting, they involve also planning, they involve also people, billing, calculation, all right. So at the end of the day, we can maximize the profit, and at the end, we can get the uh, revenue and profit lah. Yeah. This one is very important. This one is the objective of study today. We're going to discuss one by one. Yeah. And then if you feel don't understand on you can stop me anytime, can ask. Yeah. What is forecasting? Forecasting, the word from the word forecast lah. You plan also forecast. Yeah. The only thing that forecasting in the wider part, bigger scale forecasting, maybe you become a manager one day, you're doing forecasting. Yeah. Your level also, executive overseas can do forecasting also with your level lah, kan? Number of student, number of vehicle, and the number of staff, yeah, limited number of staff. Do forecasting also. So you may suggest to the management on what is your ideas, and then to combine into one to make sure bigger scale of forecasting in the transport organization. These are actually people do lah. Okay, what is forecasting? Is the process estimating in unknown situation. Benda-benda yang kita tahu kita forecast. For example, economic involved in business. For example, during the COVID, uncertain. And then kalau certain, for example, in economic world, economic scenario, we have to understand. Basically, every 10 years, they got to change. Make anyone. Satu pusingan lah. A cycle. So you have to understand. During this time, you cannot do business. We cannot buy the capacity to improve because sooner or later we cannot get maximum orang kata number of container export from the customer, for example. So because the economic scenario, all those things we can plan. We not just only next year we expected to have at least extra 200 customer, we have to chase vehicle. Satu vehicle, $500,000. Kalau 100 vehicle, 50 billion that you're going to spend. So by next year, economic prediction may be turmoil, down. So macam mana? So all these things have to take into consideration because, as I said earlier, forecasting involve time, involve money, and involve capacity. Tiga perkara tu involve time, money, and capacity. So if you don't forecast that accordingly, you still have capacity, but in terms of productivity, it's not there. And maybe less. Maybe present capacity can use for next year, for example, because according to the reading, next year orang kata economic turmoil problem. So we not need to spend anymore. Better we maintain the old one. The following years maybe yes, and so kalau kita nak buat business after economic turmoil, then we plan for what actually we want. That one better. Rather than we know that next year going to economic turmoil, you purchase the capacity, get the equipment, manpower, and so on. At last, when come to the years, there are going to be problem for you to manage because you are not enough capital, for example, budget, money, and so on. It's difficult. Okay, prediction. Prediction is similar but general term and usually refers estimation and time series. Prediction ni agak juga lah, mengagakkan. And then forecasting pun dia punya some sort like prediction also lah. Some people use prediction, some use forecasting. But the appropriate word that normally used in transport industry is actually forecasting. Forecasting has evolved the practice of demand planning everyday business. Forecasting everyday demand business pun dan demand planning also involved, yeah, day to day. But as I said just now, forecasting they are actually taking longer period of time. But day to day activity tu they involve in planning. Pun involved dengan forecasting juga. Yeah. Okay. And then kalau kita tak fokus, kalau kita tak plan satu business, we are actually follow as what is instructed from top down instruction is going to be very difficult for us to move. Yeah. Forecasting demand planning also sometimes refer to supply chain forecasting. Yeah. Embrace both statistical forecasting consensus process. Mungkin dalam supply chain juga, supply chain is considered very wide range lah, yeah, wide range. And then we are not involved all. Because they got the supply chain senior manager there to monitor, but the only thing that we are actually more on transportation part of it, but involve the whole process. Kalau dalam kilang, dia ada supply chain managers, for example, they are actually doing process, doing transportation, doing mining, and then doing production and so on. And then they are doing forecasting for raw material and product and so on and so forth. They are, we call it supply chains, yeah? And then they control the factories movement and so on. But transportation only a small portion, but very meaningful. So I will study more on transportation, but we focus on transportation saja lah. That one also big enough for us to study, yeah? Transportation. Yeah? Right? Transportation and logistics macam tu, yeah? So what we have today, yeah, transport forecasting in business, dia kata, ni tengok macam ni. Dia ada berapa circle kat sini yang you have to understand, and then you have to, orang kata really read all these things, yeah, value added to your present knowledge. Yeah. So kalau kita faham tentang proses ni, you are actually doing forecasting, yeah. You are actually doing planning, yeah. You are actually doing prediction, as I said just now. Everything that involved may be similar in the concept of forecasting. Jadi transport forecasting ni involve business process, BPT, business process, business process transportation, business process. And then business process tu maknanya day-to-day activities in transport industries. Regardless you're working in haulage industry, trucking industry, containerized, yeah, ataupun you are working with the container tanker, yeah, break bulk, yeah, import export. They are actually the process. Maknanya in the internal organization itself, you have to understand the processes. Yeah, maknanya the process is actually created by the tops, top down management to make sure that everybody are actually in the picture to understand the whole process. For example, the process, as I said just now, assigning drivers, get market, and then go maximum trip, how to do the billing, how to do collection, how to calculate the revenues, how to calculate rate at the end, how profit you can get, all those things. These are actually the processes that we have. Yeah. Yeah. Jadi different company, they got their own process. But after all, the process is at the end of the day, we want to maximize how much money you can get from the customer in bracket profit. Okay, dia kata transport forecasting buat plan. Ini buat planning, ya. Planning juga lah. Can say planning is immediate, katakan. Plan 1-2 days kan. Jadi forecasting the long term, for example, forecasting. But they also involve plan, alright? And then in business process, lepas tu dalam forecasting juga, they involve all type of goods or people to be carried. Kalau kita working in transport industries, that means you are actually dealing day-to-day activities in transporting goods. Kalau kata kita dealing with bus, limousine and so on, day-to-day activities involve people. Right. Kalau kita involve good, there are the processes there. Maybe how many containers we have, how many transport we have, how many big of the warehouse required to store the good and so on. And then the processes, form to be used, transport to be used for import export activities for that particular time. And then all those things involved, and then type of good pula, whether you're carrying normal goods, garment, PJ cargo, and so on and so on. All these things are actually using a planning or forecasting activity that normally that we make in the transport organization. And then kalau ada good pula, they involve maybe packaging. Packaging macam mana nak buat, lacing macam mana nak buat, how to handle it using forklift machineries, all those things lah. And then store in a warehouse, how to build company, how to do this, how to make the people done, how many workers that we have to store that thing. All these things are actually normally done, or normally people do in particular organization, And then dalam trade packaging, they also involve pricing. You know how to calculate pricing. For example, the customer want to have one-stop billing. For example, billing for haulage, billing for cargo, billing for people, billing for what storage and so on. Make it into one bill. For example, these are actually normal practice that we have. So you should be able to understand all the pricing, as you learn calculation and so on. It's not only your price they're going to show to the customer. Maybe the customer want to stop one stop kata billing, for example, one bill from your organization because you have warehouse, you have yard, you have LCD. Make it into one bill. Jadi dia tak confuse lah. And then of course in the bill ada breakdown, warehouse how much, haulage how much, and then manpower how much, LCD, loading, unloading. And then in transport industry juga proses dia involve capacity lah. Kalau capacity bagus, good enough already, you not think about problem that handling that. Because we have driver, we have prime movers, we have container, we have trailers, we have heavy lift equipment to use, And then you got manpower to lash, doing a staffing and so on, right? Kalau tak ada macam mana nak buat? So we need to think to assign other people, contract out and so on. And all those things have to take into consideration. And then in business forecasting, if you involve import, export activities, you need to involve understand on Incoterm. Incoterm ni international commercial term, raised by internationally lah, and normally custom, they got international custom, for example, they involve them payment, rate, and then what is this, so on and so forth. Requirement lah for that particular industry, for that particular country, which we are going to export that thing, for example, as instructed by the factory, for example. So we have to have at least term in Incoterm internationally. They are actually similar lah, like this required. The only thing that one is local consonant, which is the importer, exporter need to follow. And then after that, every moment in transportation, they involve insurance. Insurance for people, staff, insurance for cargo. This one is to cover your business lah. If anything went wrong, accident, damage, missing, and so on, insurance can cover that. And then during our study, our insurance is between 0.03% out of total goods. Kalau good to 300,000, and then 0.03%. This one is insurance. Cheap, cheap because they are actually working in bulk. Jadi insurans bukan tiap-tiap time kita nak beli insurans beli one saja to cover all movement years, that particular years. For example, in 1 year, your movement is about 15,000, movement and so on. That one cover one. So one insurance there. So which therefore every time we calculate, we have to calculate insurance. There will you can see that the insurance, even though the pricing of the good is 300,000, but the pricing for insurance only 60 ringgit. Siti kenapa murah sangat? Because they are actually accumulated less in 1 year. Maybe kita bayar dalam 20,000 for every time. Because we have 10,000 movement here. So about 20,000 insurance cargo at one particular time. So anything went wrong to that particular one particular container and so on, they can cover under this insurance. So kita tolak siap-siap lah. Kita potong siap-siap and then kita charge siap-siap to the customer. This one kita insurance. Bukan kita nak charge ni kan. Kan ni. RM1, RM40. Okay, distance modes. Mode ni cara ya. Mode ni cara. Kalau orang transport dia kata mode ni cara. Kalau tak belajar transport tak tahu lah apa tu modes kan. Mode ni cara. Darat, laut, udara, papan. 5 modes ada. And then masing-masing dia ada punya proses. Business process. Jadi kalau kita study logistik transport, that means we are actually focusing on business process transportation, BPT. BPT, business process transportation, which is we have very study in the class theoretically. When you go on the ground working in transport industry, you should be able to excel more. Maybe I left behind or I'm not current, but you go on the ground, you are actually better input there through experience, communication, and then your practicality that means in the organization. And then kalau adakan mode, mesti ada dalam bisnes mesti ada profit and loss. For example, we call it revenue. Revenue ni pendapatan lah. Revenue is income. Income from us when we assign drivers doing job assignment, so maximize vehicle movement and so on. So at the same time, of course, we can get the revenue, and at the end of the day, we can get profit. Jadi revenue, cost tolak revenue tolak cost, that means you can get profit. Profit ni yang kata taking into considerations by the CEOs. So how big you are making the movement, revenue and so on, but in bracket end of the day, cannot get the profit as targeted, that means you are not achieving. Ini bermakna kalau kita banyak buat bisnes sekalipun tetapi di hujungnya tak ada profit, tak guna juga. So that's why I emphasize you, even you have a small portion of movement, for example, but the result that we need to have at least profit. Kalau tak profit, only at loss, you just tolong orang buat kerja saja. And then our customer got their profit, selling their goods to the customer. Kita rugi, tak guna buat macam tu. So in business process in transportation, at the end of the day, we sure can get profit. Bukan running at loss. Kalau running at loss, rugi, itu bukan business lah. Take note betul ya. Okay. And then dalam business process forecasting dia buat shipping. Shipping ni apa? Shipping ni adalah perkapalan. Shipping ni perkapalan. Maknanya dia involve import export activities lah. For example, you take raw material on behalf of factories, shipping lah, using shipping. And then from that, you make custom on behalf of the customer, and then you send the customer and send to the factory for ready product, for example, for them to produce the product. And then upon ready the product, you have to use import export activities. Export, you want to export back to Japan, for example, to Korea, to China and so on. They involve shipping. Shipping ni pergerakan kapalan and so on. And then these are actually involved day-to-day activities lah in the factory. Jadi dalam transport industry tak ada shipping term dia. Shipping ni dia term used by factory. Dia ada shipping cell. They are actually involved in transportation mainly for import export activities. Jadi kalau factory tu, for example, factory Sony, dia buat video, dia buat radio and so on, TV and so on. So they make import raw from outside Japan, for example, and then import here in Malaysia, and then assembler and produce finished goods, yeah, and then export back to Japan, Korea, third party world lah. Third parties. Ini involve shipping. Shipping is the process, yeah, process, and then the owner of the and then the manager of shipping there in the factory will engage with us for the purpose to transport their goods lah, as instructor. Ini customer kita lah, to shipping, ship. And then apart shipping, semua sekali the processes are involved in transportation. Of course, the most important thing to get revenue, you need to bill them. Billing method macam mana buat, bayar sebulan sekali ke, 2 bulan sekali ke, cash ke dan sebagainya. So this is very important in the process. Sometimes you expert in assigning drivers, planning drivers, forecasting and so on. But at the end, you tak bill customer pun tak guna juga. So billing maybe came from different organization, but they know when you have the system inside, internally that you can see, these are actually the movement that you have to make. And of course, at the end of the day, the most important one, you need to have probably transport first thing in business. And then you as a transport officer should be able to excel and understand better on these processes. And then when you go to industry yourself, you have to be current. What else? The answer is what else? To make sure that you're good in terms of production. To make sure at the end, you have good in terms of profit, for example, good revenue, profit, and to ensure you to get increment, bonus, and so on and so forth. These are actually the sketch for transport forecasting in business. So, ada explanation di sini, dia kata, transport forecasting is the process estimating. Agak kan, estimate anggaran, the number of vehicle of travelers good that will use specific transportation facilities in future. Jadi dalam economicnya reading, maybe you know lah, as I said just now, economicnya scenario in future, and then you expected how many good or not in terms of productivity, in terms of economic internally excel world, for example. This is all may affect your organization, whether you plan to buy a machine, machineries, whether you plan to have at least new recruitment and so on, based on the economic scenario that you read, or you communicate, or you discuss, or you get this from your customer and so on, maybe can get have a value add to you lah, and involve in terms of planning in future. For instance, number of vehicles are planned, free or bridge, riderships, railway line, number of passenger patronized in airport and so on, ship calling, transport and so on. Pun jugalah. Ini pun kalau kita involve other mode lah. If you working other modes, or you working in the Prime Minister Department, if you want to plan something, inilah. Based on the economic scenario, ataupun you might be working under Ministry of Transport one day. Also, you can use this, because you are actually controlling the modes, you can see, and then for the betterment of the business transport entity, that one is your role, or you become MP, or you become minister one day, so all these things have to look into it to make sure that between government and non-government, business sectors, business entity, they are actually win-win concept. And then our business entity, they cannot work alone without help by the government. So government and business entity have to work together to make sure that our production are going to be very, very good. Bukan main politik saja. So they had to work lah for the betterment, because they got budget. Budget also came from the people paying back kan. So for the better movement in future, for example, we want to set up a new bridge, for example. I want to set up a new seaport facilities, for example, airport. All those things are actually involved business. And then this also involve government regulation bodies and so on for their planning. That's why every year we have budget, rancangan Malaysia ke-11, 12, 13 dan sebagainya. All those things are actually planning all about. And then dalam rancangan Malaysia tu, every 5 years tu, dia kata every years tu, rancangan Malaysia every 5 years. Budget every years. All those things are actually for planning. That means the government is not working alone. They might call the orang kata business entity to join a group to get brainstorming and discuss what are the things that need to be done. Because government and business sector actually the two key organization is supposed to develop itself, work on for the purpose of economic development. So kalau katakan industri itu bagus, that mean they can employ more people and more retail revenue can get. That mean the transaction are there already. So economic flow are there already, and then the government also benefited for the economic improvement of that particular sectors. So dalam Malaysia ni kita ada 14 sectors. One of the sectors is transportation. Which one better in terms of GDP? Alright, ataupun GNP. Okay, kalau traffic forecasting dia involve apa Ni maybe they not involved only in transportation, in road transport, maybe they involved in other mode as well. For example, begin with the collection of data, current specific data on population, vehicle movement, employment, trip rate, travel costs. For example, traffic data used to develop traffic demand model, nak buat traffic light, nak buat jambatan, nak buat airport, nak buat seaport, all those things needs forecasting. And then data needs survey. Maknanya kita buat satu projek government tu nak buat itu saja, jadi kambing gajah putih cannot be used. So whatever that we have spent in future, make sure they can use, maximize usage by the public or business entity. That one is the must. Of feeding data in future population employment into the model result output features traffic, typically estimated each segment, transportation infrastructures, example roadway, segment, railway, tadi saya dah beritahu kan, all those things. This one also involve forecasting, transport forecasting. And then the main point of this in this slide is to make sure that people can travel freely without hassle, without stoppages can go, yes. So as a government, ni government punya function, you have to focus yourself, especially on the budget, on the design, on the thing that required by public through survey and so on, to make sure that seamless movement to people in Malaysia, any countries. So it's therefore forecasting is not involved in business entity. Forecasting also involved in government sector. Jadi two sectors between government and government are actually playing important role in forecasting, implicated in future economic development. Jadi kalau negara itu traffic jam saja, all the time traffic jam, so how to develop? Cannot develop because time loss of time on the roads take many hours. So we are considered unproductive. So we have to plan as a government using braking system, disperse system, bridging system, bar entering the town, maybe put timing and so on. So actually focusing and then develop more infrastructure for the people needs, for example, in terms of smoothen the movement. Bagus. Even though they cannot see money coming in, but indirectly the money there already because when you can move faster from place to another, that we can save cost, we can save time, you can maximize the productivity, maximize the movement and so on. And then you can target yourself, regarding your production at one particular time. Kalau traffic uncertainty, jalan narrow selalu accident, so how? Kita tak boleh. So all are actually involved in forecasting. Jadi forecasting ni, as I said, it's not involve you yourself. If you work in the organization, you involve top down. So you one of the person who are actually involved in forecasting in future when you work in transport organization, dealing with your higher position lah, and your downline. Okay, the step of forecasting. Step of forecasting, dia kata dia ada banyak step of forecasting. So I'm going to involve this in transportations, road transportation as much as possible. Yeah, as many as possible lah. Yeah, dia kata trip. Trip tadi kan, kalau kita transport trip, that means you have to maximize the trips. Trip atau journey. Itu kita punya principle lah dalam transportation, maximize trips. Yeah. Regardless you are actually working in freight, haulage, trucking ataupun bus, maximize trip lah. So macam mana maximize? Encourage people to use public transport, for example, because you had already developed that thing, the government budget and so on. Ada rail, kita ada orang kata MRT, LRTs, ada taxis, limousine, and so on and so forth. So your task is to maximize them. Before that, you are doing survey kan, you want to develop LRT, for example, MRT using rail. You have to develop, and then you have to educate people to use this trip. And then trip can be maximized with a shorter period of time. For example, is zone 3 purpose, function, land use, household, demographic, and the socio-economic. So kalau dekat kan, Bandaraya, of course, we have to develop rail, MRT, LRT, semua kan, to become more productive, as compared to roads 100%. Okay. So kat KL tu kalau rail tak ada, show sampai sekarang jam. So now we have a rail there, and then most of the people are actually travel every day using rail, as compared to using roads. Rail lah, cheaper, and then at the same time you can estimate your time, forecast your time, everything. And some people from Semban commute every day to Kuala Lumpur working using rail, rather than they're using road transport, traffic jam, and then costly, very costly, wear and tear, everyday fuel, and then tired, and then you cannot target reach on time using rail at the time, because there is no jam. Kecuali kalau ada disaster lah, due to unforeseen circumstances, maybe they involve in penyakit, COVID and so on. Dulu dia kan, they patut stranded that thing and stop for a while, and then now back to normal. Number one. Number two, trip distribution, match origin with destination, which often a gravity model function equivalent to entropy and measure energies and maximize model. Trip distribution ni ialah pembagian trip lah. Kalau kita kat routes, trips, which area is very, orang kata banyak trips. So your responsibility is to assign drivers to make sure that they are actually go to that place of factories, to make sure they can distribute or transport the goods faster at one particular time. Until final destination lah. Kalau factory ke seaport ke airport, all those things normally they have. Okay, distribution. And then model of choice. Model of choice ni pilihan, mode of choice, mode of choice, for example, what type of mode that you're going to use when you want to transport goods from Thailand to Johor Bahru. Heavy good macam mana nak buat? You can use rail, you can use road and so on, and transform it. Especially now we are using containerized vehicle, easy to transport. Either they're going to using rail, also can transport using rail. And then change to road haulier, they can also change to mode of choice. And then kalau katakan public pula, they got several mode of choice. For example, they can use public, you can use car, and then you can use limousine, rail, you can use bus, mode of choice. So the only thing that as a government monitoring day-to-day activity in transportation, they should be able to budget, to plan, to survey, to make sure that they are actually public are actually very conducive lah when they are actually working to go to their office and then to get the thing done to the market and so on. Easy lah, without hassle, as maximum as practical as problem lah, right? As practical as we can as the government. So between government and public is actually have to work hand to hand lah, to combat anything problem related transportation. So mode of choice is pilihan lah, pilihan cara sama ada digunakan darat, laut, dan it's the cheapest ways and easy. Number 4, route assignment. Kita belajar route assignment, assignment 1, assignment 2. Assignment is actually macam destination lah, assignment. And normally do the thing toward the driver assignment. And then allocate trip between original destination by a particular modes or routes and difficulties that travel time function demand, while demand function time travel so called by level 2. Jadi road assignment yang kita belajar in transportation, relation industry calculation, assign people, assign driver, that one is considered road assignment. You assign driver. Jadi they got certain thing that you have to consider during the assignment. Of course, at the end, you have to study the pricing, the capacities, the drivers, then the time, whether they online, and then the frequency, and so on. So to make sure that you are actually win-win concept. So at the same time, you can get the more revenue and profit assignment lah. So what else dikata di sini? Goods, rates. Rate ni good lah. Jangan nak sebut bukan pride, rate lah. Jangan nak sebut pun, dulu saya punya CEO sebut pride because they are not transporter yang usah pride lah. Jadi kalau kita belajar transport, F-R-E-I-G-S-T bunyinya freight. So dalam transport term pun freight, bukan freight. Dia orang ketahukan kita pula. Freight. It's a term used to typically classify the transportation of goods and typically commercial purposes. This is dependent on several factors. Number 1, type of item being carried. How large the shipment is, how long time the delivery able to transit, tangible product. Jadi kita punya services intangible, tapi kita transport tangible. Itu freight lah. Freight can be seen, can be seen, can be sure, can be measured, can be weights, can be taste. Normally, we are dealing with all these things lah. Tangible product. Freight, itu nama dia, freight. Barang. Barangan lah dalam Malaysia, barangannya. Okay, in my final term, chapter 17, we got the several terms that normally people use day-to-day activities in transportation. Some of the terms that normal use, jangan silap use. Dia kata intermodal transport. Intermodal transport involve two mode. Intermodal lah. Kita nak pergi hantar barang ke Siam, using road and then using rail. We call it intermodal. More than one modes. Kalau you nak import barang daripada India ke Malaysia, so using more mode, using sea and then using roads. Sometimes using rail also. More than one mode, but is considered intermodal. International model lah. Good. Intermodal freight pula, intermodal freight, dia involve international punya freight lah. For example, Okay, that thing involve vessel. Okay, that thing involve trucking. Yeah. And then the changing mode, for example, that one is considered the model rates. Jadi the advantage of the latest method is that reduce cargo handling, so improve security, reduce damage or loss, and allows freight to be transported faster. Kebanyakan yang transporter they are using containerized vehicle. Containerized vehicle can move faster. Right? They can use internal, they can use external, local, and overseas. Normally, vessel cargo less nowadays. Now, vessel more on containerized vehicle. Easy to transport, and safety also there, security also there, more faster, cheaper, and so on and so forth. Right? Kalau gunakan cargo, can use, but handling more cargo. Vessel cargo, for example, you want to export coal, for example, using cargo to India, for example. Oh, gitu. Tapi kalau dia siap-siap masuk container, is easy, safety, cheaper, and very timely lah. Time consume very less. Yeah. So transport intermodal tadi kan, and then intermodal passenger macam tu jugalah. If you are actually using more than one transport, we call it intermodal. You use air, you rail, yeah, a road, and so on. Intermodal. Yeah. LTL. LTL ni less truck road. Dia less truck road ni kalau ketika kita bawa lori kargo, sepatutnya dia boleh bawa 40 kaki, dia transport 20 kaki saja, less truck load. Less truck load ni rugilah. Dia kena FTL, full truck load. FTL, full truck load, FTL. The first category freight shipment as less truck load, which is represent a majority of freight shipments, a majority of business to business shipment. Yeah. Jadi, the shipment are usually palletized, packaging, and mixed with environment. They kata LTL must provide their own packaging, carriers, and instant. In Malaysia, normally trailer container 20 and 40 feet. Jadi 45 footer tak ada. 45 footer dulu masih saya kerja ada 45 footer, but they are actually designed for trailers and prime movers fit for 20 and 40 trailers kan. Dia ada blocking dia. Dia tak boleh terbalik lah. Passenger rigid number of passengers once bus vehicle. Ya. Kita belajar cara nak kira tiket dulu kan. They are actually using the same process. Ya. Truck loads. Truck loads ataupun FTL, full truck load. Kalau full, better lah. Kalau 20 footer container, you put full, that means you are actually full. Kalau open top vehicle, you put 40 footer trailers, you put full. Better. Better for economic, better for client, better for saving costs, and then you also better in terms of revenue lah. So kalau full truck load, that means you are actually putting yourself as good in terms of assignment lah. Yeah. You have to coordinate lah. Yeah. Okay, trailer is normally 38 kg lah. Dia kata trailer kalau kita bawa maybe as we study kalau 40 footer, 40 ton kan. Tapi trailer tu punya capacity 38 footer. And some of the exporter, importer, they are not using maximum weight. Yeah. Maybe less than 38, maybe 30 dan sebagainya. Even though they are using 40 footer container. Jadi for average calculation in terms of pricing, you use 20, 40 ataupun 20 ton, 40 ton. Maksimum. Tapi sebenarnya kalau namanya diisi, dia tak isi sepenuhnya sampai dalam dan berat ni kurang daripada berat berkenaan. Kecuali kalau kita bawa besi lah. Penting if your you are using 40-footer container, normally your freight inside only 28,000 kg, 30 kg, 30,000 kg and below. Kalau you transported using 20-footer, normally 18,000 ton, maybe maximum, maybe 15, 14, less than 20, macam tu cerita. Ini container size dia 8 kaki kali 5 kali 9 buka. Biasalah. This normal standard. So apa lagi dalam forecasting dia kata pricing. Yang ini you belajar dulu kan. Ini sebagian daripada kita punya pricing, planning and so on. Kalau tak boleh calculate ni, that means you are actually not a transport officer lah. So you should be able to calculate using this lah. Using this, using the government table ataupun your own calculation. Macam mana nak cari 20 kaki, macam mana nak kira 40 kaki, saya rasa you dah pandai ni. Macam mana nak kira kilometer ton, distance, rental, project basis, all these things are actually forecasting. Ini pun dah belajar. Freight packaging. Packaging ni pembungkusan ya. Normally done inside the house lah. When you want to export that thing using thing, and then you acted on behalf of third party customer, you can do packaging inside your house. Ini cost juga lah. And then you need to charge the customer lah, how much money. Normally in transport organization and warehouse, we have gang people that are actually working as a labor doing a packaging and so on. Packaging, labeling, lashing, loading, unloading, and so on and so forth. They are actually the tasks in warehouse, yeah. Okay, pre-shipping summary in experienced shippers is outside the service. Freight immediately help them to best carrier service, price, their shipment, cargo, packaging, handling, storing, transporting, clearing, and distributing. Ini dalam proses, orang kata proses transportation proses lah. Normally they involve warehouse, they involve people, they involve bill, they involve packaging and so on, they involve handling and so on. They are actually costs related to the movement of the goods as instructed by the customer. Yeah. So as I said just now, you have to build into one. Because we are actually major in transportation, we have a house, we have heavy lift, we have rail, we have BTS and so on. So any one time customer want you to build it one bill lah. Ini masuklah. Packaging berapa, handling berapa, storing berapa, transporting berapa, buat clearance, custom A, custom 1, custom 3, custom A berapa ringgit, and then distributing kalau you nak buat pre-bulk how much, all those things make into one bill. Ini kalau kita buat freights. Normally customer want like that. Dia bukan packaging came from different bill and then handling different bill and so on. It's very difficult and very headache for the customer, and most of the customer don't like it. So we are actually as a transporter is considered controller of the movement. You should be able to come up with this breakdown. So you put breakdown there lah, and bill to the customer. Insurance is part of the forecasting juga lah. Kalau insurance tak ada, every moment you are actually at risk, ya. Anything can happen berlaku. Accident sebagainya, siapa nak bayar? Customer punya barang. So therefore we study in the class the price of normally charged insurance. 0.03%, 0.03 ya, bukan 3 ya, 0.03%. Between 0.03%, between 0.05%. Tambah satu zero sini. Jadi of course the price every movement is cheap, ya. RM40, RM50, whereas the price of cargo overall $500,000, 400,000 and so on. They buy insurance RM60 saja. Why? Because they are actually accumulated, all movement into one. Because we are actually paying to the insurance agencies once a year only for insurance cargo. Dia akan merangkumi all movement lah. And then your calculation distributed to the main account lah. Maybe the main account company will pay 20,000 a year for insurance cargo. They get portion from this one lah. Every movement kan, RM60, RM40, RM50, so dapat juga. Okay. Okay, insurance, teruskan goods. So goods atau freight, good atau freight is an indirect source of utility through resale value and as a source of income. Jadi kalau kat sini pula goods ataupun freight is actually belong to third party because they are got their own customer. Because for example they want to import or export thing, big thing. For example, they want to import orange mandarins during Hari Raya Cina and so on. They import to make sure that they got buyers here in Malaysia. Our responsibility is to process the import and transportation. So we bring the goods from China, for example, the import place and Malaysia. This one is our responsibility. And then you are actually ready with container, ready with trailer dekat China sana kan, and then with ready with transport, and then their China kat tempat will declare the custom declaration everything, and then using a carrier, carrier mean that seaport lah, tarik, and then based on the schedule made, jadi schedule kapal kan, schedule made, and then make sure that they reach to Port Klang ataupun Penang as periods as targeted. Yang ini adalah goods in term of economic accounting. Bagus untuk dia because why? Maybe want to send in Malaysia before the Hari Raya. So we ourselves as transporters should advise them you to import this, using this, make sure you are actually import it. Kalau sampai selepas Hari Raya, it's no point already. That's why the value before Hari Raya is different. When value of the good after Hari Raya, after Hari Chinese New Year, different, all those things. So in this case, you consider win-win concept lah, And then good economic usage is not imply moral acceptance given legally. Object use is a sold a positive price. The purchaser considered utility of the object or service more valuable than money. Something are useful but not scarce, such as air, are referred to as goods. Macroeconomic and accounting good are contrast with the services. Good here depend on physical, intangible product capable of being delivered, purchaser, and involve the transport ownership, sellers to customer, of course, intangible services. All right. Okay, why want to transport good, you make to sure that you have to understand three type of goods, dalam transport. Dia kata bulk cargo. Bulk cargo ni barangan yang kata terbuka lah. Bulk. Atau pemeluk. Yang can be see bulk cargo. Dia unpack. Macam kita buat tanah, batu, bulk cargo lah. Ataupun bundle, bulk cargo. Terbuka. It can be seen immediately. The nature of homogeneous, ada yang sama. And then carry usually drops and pour with specific shovel, bucket, liquid, solid. Macam tadi kan. Macam bawa simen. ya, bawa batu, bawa tanah, sebab lah cargo. Number one. Number two, liquid. Liquid tadilah, barang-barang bahaya liquid lah. Acid, chemical, petrol, diesel, liquid, ya, cargo. Cargo juga, freight juga, ya. Apa lagi? Dia kata dry bulk cargo. Dry bulk cargo pula, apa pula? Dry bulk cargo ni, dia kata macam coal tadi, coal, grain, soybean, iron, wood, chip, cement, ya. Cement, ya, ataupun chemical, fertilizer, itu dry bulk. Ini kering lah, kering pembeluk lah. Okey, itu saja. Ada yang lain dikata shipping. Shipping ni is very important, shipping. Dia dekat factory, dia ada shipping manager. They instructed us, they want transport to transport their goods for raw material or finished goods. Jadi shipping department playing the important role. They organize all the movement, import, export activities, shipping department in the factories. So the transport from factory to port, our responsibility. And then to transport the raw material from seaport to their factory is our responsibility. To export finished goods is our responsibility. But the process of measuring thing, prepare documentation, price, for example, tag and so on, actually handled by this department. And then shipping department always working hand in hand with forwarding agents normally, international forwarding agents. They are how to transport timely, scheduling according to the schedule, so on. Okay. Jadi kalau katakan shipping, kapalan, they are actually involved factory, involved factory, and also our organization tracking. Kalau tracking kita punya tracking, our responsibility yang kita dah belajar daripada awal is actually delivered, the thing as owned by third party goods, tracking lah. Okay. Billing is the most important thing, as I said just now in the crowd. Saya kata kalau kita buat business, billing tak ada pun, it's going to be very difficult. You buat sampai nak mati, you tak bill. Jadi macam itulah. Okay, kalau nak buat bill, kalau import, involve outside country, it's a bit difficult. Dia kata, kena ingat, dia kata dalam outside country, when you import export, dia kata freight on board, FOB. Dia nak saya buat FOB ke CIF. Apa dikatakan FOB? Ini commercial term lah, FOB ni kalau kita import barang. Free on board and mean that exporter deliver the goods at the specified location. Example, FOB KL exporter deliver goods and airport. Maknanya dekat kapal tu free. Tapi charges akan merangkumi semua sekali apabila menggunakan transport. FOD. Okay, cost and freight. Dia kata kalau cost and freight CNF with no insurance. Dia tak beli insurance. The exporter play and the ocean shipping and freight cost and specific location. Example, CNF Port Klang, exporter pay the chosen shipping and freight cost to Port Klang sahaja. Ingat tu? Cost and freight sahaja CNF. Kalau free on board, FOB, maknanya the exporter deliver good to the specific location. Itu saja. Okay, bill of lading, BL, dia kata the overall detail assignment, BL. BL ni normally dia actually akan dipegang oleh kapten kapal lah, BL. The overall shipment detail. Dia akan bagi dekat transporter lah, BLE. And then in order to send to the customer, BLE. Okay, what else? Tadi CIF. CIF pula, cara nak build CIF pula, dia kata insurance, freight and all paid by exporter. Okay. Kalau daripada India tadi kan, orang India dah bayar dia punya cost, insurance, freight barang atas kapal dan sebagainya kan. Example, CIF Port Klang, dia exporter. Kita sebagai exporter, play ocean, kita akan bayar ocean freight, kita akan, kalau kita gunakan udara, kita akan bayar air freight, including insurance. Kita bayar semua sekali. Kita akan charge kat sana lah. Customer kan. And then, CIF also, dia boleh gunakan cara pakai kereta api pun boleh gunakan. Pakai kapal, udara boleh gunakan. Pakai pipeline pun boleh gunakan CIF ni dia. Untuk ekspor. Right? Okay. So apa lagi? Incoterm. Incoterm ialah international commercial term. Jadi ini hak custom lah. Custom. Dia ada rule and regulations, standardized world requirement. Dia kata series of international terms are that widely used throughout the world. Custom lah, custom dunia kan. And they are used to divide transaction cost and responsibility between buyers, sellers and reflect state of the art translation practices. Pakai sistem tu boleh lah. Kalau kita hantar pergi Thailand, dia ada local rule on Thailand, dipanggil Incoterm. So, for example, our transport go to Thailand, they have to use two plate. Plate Malaysia and plate Thailand, for example. Alright. And then they closely respond to the UN Convention Contract International Sale of Goods. Incoterm, which are questions related to delivery product, sellers and buyers. They include carriage of product, export, import, clearance, responsibility, who pays on what, who has risk for the condition. For the production at different location transport. Macam itulah, Incoterm termasuk tadi kan CIF, FOB, CNF and so on. Incoterm lah requirement kan, supaya tak berlaku pergaduhan, rejections. Actually, combination agreement between sellers and buyers. Because when we involve internationally, it's going to be very difficult, especially during the payment. Barang sampai ke tak sampai dan sebagainya. All those things kan. So, this code are actually playing important role. Incoterm, yeah. They are devised on published by International Chambers of Commerce, ICC, ya. Incoterm ni kan. Jadi dalam import export sometimes you can see these words, ya. Group E, departure, X work, name, place and so on. This one for import normally you can see, ya. Dekat import export goods kan. So ada lagi dia punya term normally use CFT, carried page to. General Contract Material CFR, the sellers pay the carrier's name, point of destination and but the risk passes when the goods are handled over to the first carrier. Maknanya dia akan risiko tu akan, risiko ni involve insurance lah kan. Kan? Itu dipanggil CPT, carried page. And then CIP, carries insurance paid, maknanya the containerized transport multimodal equivalent CIF, sellers pay for carriage and insurance to the named destination point, but risk passes when the good hand over to the first carrier. Pakai CIP pula. Jadi term-term ni dia confuse sikit lah. Yang ini term ni adalah dikeluarkan oleh Incoterm lah, International Code. Which is kalau kita bekerja di syarikat pengangkutan nanti, kita menggunakan use term-term ni lah. Right? Transshipment. Transshipment is what? Transshipment is the process, ya. The process when you place this orang kata goods for temporary or without placement of the goods, you can transport to other parties. You can transport to other countries. Transshipment ni just for a while. Dia kata transportation hub. Macam Tanjung Pelepas is a port of transshipment. Dia tak turun pun. Sometimes dia turun tetapi tak keluar daripada port. And then dia export to the world country. Itu dipanggil transshipment. Must usually take placement in transportation hub. Hub ni maksudnya apa? Tengah-tengah. Mass international transshipment also take place is design custom rates, custom area. Maknanya dalam free trade zone. From free trade zone to free trade zone transshipment. Dia gunakan custom nombor 8 lah dulu, if I'm not mistaken. Custom 8. Without paying anything. Dia tak kena tag lagi. Thus avoided this customer check on duties, otherwise major hindrance or efficient transport. Transshipment freight also occur break of gauge of the station. Transshipment is normally fully legitimate and everyday parts of the world trades. Transshipment is part of shipment of goods international destination, and then from there yet another destination. One possible reason to change the mean of transport during the journey without known as international freight cost. Jadi transshipment ni berlaku di custom area lah. Kawasan tidak membayar cukai. Daripada tempat membayar cukai, tidak membayar cukai ke satu tempat yang tidak membayar cukai. Dia panggil transshipment. Bila dia keluar, dia kena bayar. Okay. Okay, shipping line. Shipping line ni apa tau? Shipping line ni carrier line lah, kapal. Jadi, kontainer yang ditulis ujung tu, itu menunjukkan shipping line punya kontainer. Shipping line. Kebanyakan kontainer tu kepunyaan shipping line, kepunyaan kapal berkenaan. Shipping line is a business that operate that ship. That itself their own or operates. An example for shipping line world. Ini contohnya kapal raya, kapal Tok Nama, kapal apa yang baru sekarang ni. Korea punya yang terbesar kan. FOL, OCCI ni adalah kapal. Jadi tiap-tiap kapal ni ada kontainer masing-masing. Dia transported container only. From place to another. Shipping line. And then you tengok kontainer-kontainer yang diparking kosong di yard tu adalah punyaan kontainer. Dia are actually rental container, and then they are provided the services transport container from place to another, especially overseas shipping line ni. Okay, transport hub tadi tengah-tengah transport, tak payah cerita lagi. Passenger, tak payah cerita pasal freight hub. Freight hub pun super jugalah. Freight hub ni more on tengah-tengah freight hub. Sometimes warehouse can be a freight hub. Keluar warehouse, dia kena bayar cukai. Ataupun C-rail through even cancel rail, and three main freight transport mode can each have their own separate advantage concerning price, barriers and distribution. Hub ni tengah-tengah. So for example, you want to station that one to third country. Tunggu situ kan. Dia tak keluar daripada area ataupun port berkenaan. Dia katakan hub. Jadi Tanjung Pelepas is hub for transshipment, for example. Warehouse is hub for distribution, for example. Hub, tempat pemberian distribution, break bulk, pemberian sementara dan masuk balik and so on and so forth. And untuk ekspor ke tempat ketiga, hub. Inland port. Inland port biasalah. Inland port ni lah inland port ataupun dry port are actually the same. Dia port tengah-tengah ni, kawasan lapang, inland port. Macam dry port, hitam kan, inland port lah. They are actually using the function of normal seaport ataupun airport. Ya, sama juga lah function dia. They can do export, they can do import and make a custom declaration there. The custom officers there, inland port. Inland port boleh dikatakan inland clearance depot. Dulu dekat Penang tu masa saya kerja, saya ada inland port di situ. They connected with rail. Ada rail siding situ. They connected with roads. And then from rail, they're using rail to transport or export overseas. Straight away. Macam dry port Ipoh, ada dry port. Yang Bukit Karitam pun nak buat kan, satu dry port. Pun boleh katakan ini port. Ataupun yang ada di Padang Besar. Padang Besar, you get this inland port juga. Dry port. Ya. Okay. Inilah dry port. Dry port. Inland port. Habislah cerita tentang forecasting. Jadi secara amnya dalam forecasting ni as a conclusion is actually banyak menggunakan term plan ya. And then banyak menggunakan theory on what actually we have ya. And then language ataupun term that normally use for the purpose of movement. Dalam plan juga is not only involve our traffic ataupun transport officers. They also involve government and regulatory bodies actually under planning. Planning for infrastructure, people, seaport, airport development and so on and so forth. And then dalam planning juga kita akan buat tentang processes, the whole organizational functions, especially in transport business, process, transport business process, TBT tadi kan, TBP process. And then as a transport officers working in transport organization, you should be well versed on this process to make sure that at the end of the day, we are going to have better in terms of revenue and profit. And then you need to have a sense of forecasting in your head because from time to time you need to be current, especially during the economic development, economic scenario, and economic problem. And then this which related to your work in future when do forecasting. And then forecasting juga, they are also report in planning, day-to-day activities. Cuma breakdown saja. Ataupun this is refer to predict, agak kan yang boleh katakan scientific lah, through reading, through communicating, discussion and so on, brainstorming and so on to get at least good in term of productivity. And then through forecasting juga, you expected to have in term of revenue lah, in term of recruitment, in term of revenue, in term of export, in term of movement, assignment and so on and so forth will help you. And then through assignment juga, through the forecasting juga, you need to have any extraordinary job lah for you to get more reading lah on the current scenario in economic especially to make sure that when you spend or you purchase new machinery based on what actually you do investigation or forecasting all about. So many parties involved in this because without doing this forecasting, I'm sure you cannot achieve the certain point saying that you are not profitable at all. With the proper forecasting juga, you should be able to manage yourself to be good as a transport planner in particular organization. So if you work with government one day also, you do the planning, you do forecasting for the public, for the government, for the business entity to make sure that government and business entity are actually working hand in hand. They can deploy, they can sit together and plan for the betterment of the country as a whole. So therefore, they can improve the productivity, improve the GDP and GNP on that particular country. And then as a normal in the country, we have 40 channel in the one of transport and communication is one of the channel in GDP. They are the measurement to make sure that economic development can be measured through this channel. So channel mana yang orang kata product very productive, channel mana yang very tak productive, all those things. Normally transport sector they carry about 8 to 14% contribution to GDP. Macam tu. Tanian 18%. Apa lagi? Perkilangan 14%. Is transportation considered the highest lah contribution to the economy. Okay, I think that's all for today. For those who have yet to scan, I'm going to flash again. Yeah, I'm going to flash again. You can flash, and thank you very much for listening. Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor.